Welcome to our ICC ODI World Cup coverage on WION World of Cricket. I am Esha Hanspal. At the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad earlier on today, Afghanistan won the toss and opted to bat first against South Africa. At the end of their innings and at the end of 50 overs exactly, Afghanistan got 244 runs, all out. Also, before the match, Rashid Khan, part of Afghanistan's famed spin quartet about the Australia game, had said that he was proud of his team's batting performance. Lots of positives throughout the World Cup, he says, especially in the batting department. Let's take a look at their batting today. First up, Azmatullah Omarzai could have been the sole centurion. Our hearts were in our mouths. We really wanted him to get that 100, but he got 97 today. Let's take a look at others as well. You have Noor Ahmed on 26, Rahmat Shah on 26, Ramanullah Gurbaz on 25. That is pretty much what the top scorers of the side look like. Over to how the bowlers from the South African side performed. Now, even if Jansen is not playing today, South Africa did display some of that power play magic. 2 wickets in the first 10 overs, courtesy Maharaj and Kudse. Kudse also took 4 wickets. Quinton de Kock took 5 catches, the most for South Africa in a World Cup. I'm going to go over to Mr. Whatmore, who has been looking extremely sharp today in the festivities and in the festive mood. Dab, I just saw you rooting for Omarzai there. We all wanted him to get that 100. I did want to talk about how perhaps Afghanistan should have done more in their batting performance, but just after his performance today, I don't know, this is what I want to start talking about.
All right. What about that? I'm glad you like it, Ish. It's very different for me, but yeah, it's very comfortable.
Wonderful.
Very comfortable. Yeah, look, the pass score we believe is around 250 to 260, so they got close.
Yeah.
And on that graphic he just put up, you can see again, we're very happy for Omarzai, very happy for Azmatullah Omarzai. Very unlucky not to get 100, but anyway. Again, 2 of those top 4 batsmen get a start and get out. Gurbaz, guilty again. And Rahmat Shah, who is my #1 technician, he also got a start and got out, sadly. But they were saved by Azmatullah Omarzai, who is their all-rounder, and he bats at number 6, I think, 5 or 6, middle order player. So there you go. Here's to me, another little gem that they've unearthed. He's a shining little gem that's now been identified and performed at a very high level. And I think he also, along with 1 or 2 of his mates, will have a really good future and will make up the core of that team going forward.
So Omarzai bats at number 5. He batted at number 5 today.
Okay,
Great effort from him. As we were discussing before the show, Dab, one tends to rely on him more. One tends to have more faith on him. Shahidi as well, when you compare and contrast that with the likes of Gurbaz, who you expect to do a lot more.
Yeah, I think what we've been talking and what we sort of agree on to a point is that the top order, that the top 4 are pretty good. I mean, Ibrahim got 100 last game. He batted superbly well. He's the only one to get 100 in, for Afghanistan. This boy could have be the second one, but he didn't. What we're saying is the top 4 have the ability to do more.
Yeah.
And when you look at the highest run scorers, it's it's made up of the teams in the 4. So they are, I think we can to some degree, say that's one of the reasons why they've only won 4. And this is game on, by the way. It could be 5 after tonight. And that's one of the reasons why they're not in that, perhaps challenging for that 4th spot and even higher, because of the inability. They had 2 blowouts, didn't they? 2 really bad games where they were bowled out for under 150. So, but they are on a transition, and they're transitioning in the right way.
Right. I'll just come to that in a bit, Dav. First, let's draw a parallel between Gurbaz and Zadran.
Yes.
Both have fired
Yes.
up in almost equal number of matches,
Yep.
but one tends to have more faith in Zadran. He is their highest run scorer, he manages to push those totals in as many matches that even Gurbaz has scored. But somehow you end up having more faith on Zadran.
Yes, you do. Ramanal Gurbaz, we'll all agree, he's got tremendous potential, and so now has got this Zadran, his opening partner. The Gurbaz factor with his batting is he's always trying to be aggressive, which is probably an offshoot of that smallest format, the T20, which he's very good at as well. No question he could be a really good player in this 50-over format also, but at the moment what we're seeing is he's got a really good eye-hand coordination.
If he can just get his numbers alongside.
Yes, he's got an 80 and I think he's got a 60. Two scores where he's converted a start, but the rest of it, he gets a start and he doesn't convert, or he gets out very early. So everyone will get out early, that's a given. One thing I can guarantee with batsmen is failure. But it's when you get a start, that's when I get really angry with players when I'm coaching. Man, when you get a start, you've got to ensure that you do the job on that day. Yeah. Because there's plenty of times the umpire will give you out when you're not out and you can't, you know, you got to walk. And you get an incredible catch that they have no right to take and you're out, low score. But when you get a start, that's when you really should be making, you know, the most of it. So yes, in his case, maybe it's an offshoot of the aggression that you need in T20s.
Yeah. Okay, remnants of what was said about Afghanistan, a T20 side, perhaps not been able to shed that. We got talking about that, Dab, as we were discussing about how we already consider, why should we not consider Afghanistan to be in the big leagues? Because they are placed 6th on the points table. Whenever we talk about Afghanistan, we automatically give them a bit of a discount and then talk about their good performances. They've had an exemplary World Cup for sure. They've only won 2 matches in the previous World Cups, one in 2015 and one in 2019. And come this time around, they were in strong contention for the semi-final spot. So we are here now talking about a team we shouldn't be, in my opinion, giving discounts to. And I know you want...
And they know the
and
wins.
This is a compliment to them.
Yes, that's right.
This is a compliment to them because we have to start talking about them as if they are in the big leagues.
It's a compliment.
Yes, because when Australia wasn't firing up in the beginning, we wouldn't take that. Even in the game against India, if they did not perform well, we were not okay with it because it is Australia. We expect more. We expect more from South Africa. So here I am saying, Tab, that I personally now expect a little more from Afghanistan because when you look at the top order, like we just discussed, we expect more. The middle order is the one that has been posting those runs. Again, like how we saw. This is a famed spin attack. We keep talking about Afghanistan's spin attack. How many wickets have they really posted on there?
Yeah, so this is a continuation of not describing their wins as upsets. Whereas at the start there were some questions about should we call it an upset, remember? Yeah. We were talking about at the beginning of their wins. But the way it's evolved is that, and quite rightly, I don't think they're upsets. Even today, tonight they may just bowl them out under 240 and win the game. That's not an upset. So when you're giving them a compliment of saying, listen, we shouldn't go too easy on them, that is a reflection of their...
How well they've been.
Yes, that's their competitiveness in this tournament. And we're all happy for that. And a lot of people, as you also agree, a lot of spectators and followers of the game like their style of cricket, even though they don't follow them. They're not from Afghanistan, but they like the way they play. So that's a good thing. And yes, some of those batters, they need to continue on and show that they are worthy of really challenging the big boys, which means you've got to be tougher, a little bit tougher. Right. But what we can do is give them a little pat on the back and say, well done so far and what you've done.
Okay, so heavy is the head that wears the crown. As a fan of the sport and as somebody who really enjoys Afghanistan play those knocks, they have to push ahead and they have to be a little stronger, consider themselves in the big leagues, and then we can dissect them further and talk about the batting order, bowling order. Perhaps we won't go as easy.
Well, you mentioned the bowling too, and you know, you're right. I mean, the highest wicket taker was Rashid Khan, wasn't he, on nine wickets?
Yeah.
So he has to improve on that. And just on that, Coetzee, another 4 wickets today.
Another 4
and
wickets.
he only played 5 games.
Yeah.
This is the 9th. So he's missed 4. He's on 18. And the leading wicket taker is what, 21?
Yes.
Madhushankar?
Yes.
Zampa's got 20.
Yeah.
This guy's got 18. Zampa's played every game. So anyway, look, the bowlers for Afghanistan, as we're talking about, is Rashid Khan, 9. Naveen Haq, who's not a spinner.
There you have it.
8.
Okay.
Well, there's the leading. That's for South Africa.
Attack for South Africa.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, look, you know, he's done extremely well, that guy. Here we go. 9, 8. Azmatullah, who's an all-rounder coming up, he's got 7. And the other 2 spinners, Mujib and Nabi, Nabi, 7 and 6 respectively. So yeah, they could be doing more, right?
If we can just pull the previous 2 graphics played back again, although I do know who your favourites from that list is. If we can just pull up the bowlers list from South Africa again, you have the likes of Rashid Khan, Naveen Haq, Omarzai, Mujibur Rahman, Mohammad Nabi. Who is your star from this list?
From that list?
Yeah.
Look, you still got to go with Rashid Khan because he's got 9 wickets. But I also have a very soft spot for Mujibur Rahman because of where he bowls.
Yeah.
He's been asked to do a job right up the top, you know, in every game that he plays. So I think he deserves a bit more pat on the back. And the 4 wins, right, they've got, 3 of those are chasing. And they've chased really well. In 3 games they've won, they've only lost 8 wickets, 3, 3 and 2. So, you know, that also gives you a little indication and a little surprising for a team that's, you know, having to do it against the scoreboard pressure to win 3 out of 4 batting second.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe if they've got more wickets in that column, they could certainly, you know, win more batting first and maybe even batting second. So they need to up the wickets as well, what we're saying.
Can we also pull up the list for South Africa? It features names like Jansen, who is not playing today. Of course, Coetzee, Maharaj, Rabada and Ngidi.
It's a big contrast, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a big contrast. So they're all in double figures.
Yeah.
Rashid Khan's the highest in 9.
Yeah.
So they've one of the reasons why they're second.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's to be expected to see some of these guys getting wickets. Jansen's, to me, has been the one. You know,
I know he's a favourite.
Well, he's got wickets with the new ball. He's just opened up, you know, one end all the time. And he's got some in the back end as well in the last few overs. So he's been a wonderful asset for them. Maharaj is the other one. You know, he's surprised me a little bit, the way he's come on and picked up wickets. Like even today, the very first ball.
Yeah.
Good buzz, your man. You know, unlucky. You know, first ball, perfect line, perfect length, and the thing spun. You know, like he pushed at it a little bit too far. I can give him a bit of a, you know, drop points on that one, but he was so unlucky.
Yeah.
First ball. You know, so anyway, Maharaj still did the business. He was able to deliver it in an area which was good. So he's another one that's done well.
I haven't been going easy on Gurbaz, Dab, if you remember, in the pre-match. So before you say, my man, no, you were fond of him. You expected more from him. Yeah. He's a great player, no doubt, but he definitely needs to be posting more of his runs. At least how Zadran's been doing.
Your man meaning, you know, he's in your sights. He's in your sights. Shoot.
Like I said, heavy is the head that wears the crown. I think they should play, and we should talk about them like they are in the big leagues. They have proven that, and that's a compliment for Team Afghanistan. Okay, where do you see this headed, Dab?
Yeah, game on, Esha, game on. I'm really excited to see the second half, thanks to, you know, some spirited batting by that Azmatullah Omarzai, as you can see. And a little Nur Ahmed too, you know. He's not much of him physically, but 26 all counts.
Yeah.
You know, every run counts, and to get to that total of 244, you know, and they finished on a high. You know, let's see how they start. And South Africa have got a job ahead of them, and again, only the one real pace bowler in Naveen-ul-Haq. But if it's Azmatullah Omarzai's night, he might get a couple of wickets as well and make it a really good day and night game for Afghanistan. Game on, but I'm still thinking
leading
the experience, the experience of South Africa should get them through. And it's a big test, batting second.
Yeah.
You know, can they do it? They just did it against Pakistan in Chennai, just that LBW.
Yeah.
It still sticks in my mind. But let's see how they go with that chase this evening.
Also, you know, when you say that this has become very interesting, very precariously poised, they have managed to get the score where we expected the score to reach.
Yeah.
But how did they do that?
Yeah, that's right.
There was one player who did it. So just looking at that, how is that innings played out?
Well, you know, others will say, hey, doesn't matter how you get there, you got to get there, you know. There are more than one way to skin a cat, right? But it's not the best way, obviously. You'd like the top order to make more contributions, so then when you get down towards that last 10 overs, then you can really put the foot on the accelerator and then, you know, power your way to the 50-over mark, which they still do when we come to the innings progression. You'll see that. But here's the wagon wheel of young Omarzai. He prefers, he's targeting that offside, you know, and he's done it so well. And that ground is not a small ground.
Yeah.
That's one of the bigger boundaries, distances that there is on the circuit. And he cleared the boundary a few times as well, you know. So well done, son. Really good effort. Most of it in front of the wicket, by the way. You know, 10, 13, only 15 runs behind the wicket. So he's a down the ground player more than usual for a smaller guy.
Yeah. Our hearts were in our mouths as we saw him play that last over. Really wanted him to reach that down. Very quickly, if we can take a look at the innings progression as well, because I almost skipped that one. Very interesting to watch that. And then we know, Dab, that you have to go in for another broadcast. Here it is. 4, 3.7, 5.6, 3.9 and then 7.1 altogether.
It's a roller coaster, right? 41 down to 37, up to 56, down to 39. It was like this. But luckily it ended up
This is reflective of the team.
Yes.
Why I expect more from Afghanistan.
Losing 3 in that 21 to 30 was not clever. But you've got to give some credit to the bowling team as well. But to come back and to get 71 runs with having 7 down is a very, very good effort. All of it goes to Azmatullah Omarzai.
Okay. All right. Very quickly, a few comments for our viewers. We don't want to disappoint them. And then you catch Dab again at 6:30. On another edition of WION World of Cricket with WION Sports Editor Digvijay Singh Deo. But before that, I'm going to take some of your comments for sure. This is from Hriday, who asks, if Temba Bavuma is struggling, why is he fielding? He surely isn't thinking of Maxwell against Afghanistan.
Yeah, he did look like he was really carrying a leg, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he feels like I'm the leader of this team. I need to show, you know, character. Maybe it's an injury that's not going to get worse. There are certain niggles that you know is not going to get worse. You can play with them. Physio's the best one to tell you that, you know. There are many times when I've been coaching teams, physio tells me it's okay, let him play. It's not going to get any worse. That injury will get worse. So you need to, you know, react accordingly.
Another comment to support that. Why is Temba Bavuma still on the field? South Africa play a semi-final next week. He's clearly injured.
5 days, I suppose. He's thinking, oh, I put the feet up for 5 days, get some treatment, and I'll be right. He's not the only one, by the way. In Giddy, you know, with his left Achilles, that left foot slams down on the delivery stride.
Okay, this is from Vic, who asks, why 230 plus is tough? All our good quality spinners in Australia had the greatest luck that day, but I don't think South Africa has. First 10 overs, there shouldn't be any fall of wickets if South Africa wants to have an easy win.
Yeah, that's what we've been consistently saying. Be a little careful under the lights. anyone that's bowling a bit of pace with the brand new ball at both ends, it'll do a little bit. So just give it a bit of respect. If it's in your arc, in your zone, you're seeing it well, okay, go for it. But let's not try and manufacture anything just because there's only 2 out of the circle. Good comment.
Yep. This is from Afghan Warriors, who says, "Thanks a million, WION, for keeping your eyes on Afghanistan." Well, the pleasure is all ours. We do enjoy watching the team play, as we do all the teams participating in the World Cup. But
you're starting to get a little...
Yeah, we're starting to get a little, not critical, because we like them so much. We are watching them very closely. But well done, your team. Okay, this is from Gautam, who asks, will South Africa be able to chase? Why even a weak time like Netherlands has to make the denominator equal while chasing, and Afghanistan's bowling lineup is better than ever?
Well, it's different games, different surfaces, different everything, you know, so it doesn't necessarily follow that because, you know, they lost at Netherlands and that the perception is that Afghanistan's got better bowlers, it should follow. It doesn't work that way. It works on the night. It depends how much assistance they get from the pitch, how much turn, bounce, all that sort of stuff will come into it. But South Africa will have their work cut out, no question.
Okay, this is the last one I'm going to take, and then Dav will have to leave after this, and I have to get back to the match. This is from... which one should I take? Okay, this is from Siddhant. He says, South Africa versus Afghanistan, are we really going to struggle against tail enders?
Are we going to get Are we
really going to struggle against the tail enders?
The South African bowling against tail enders?
Yes.
Well, I tell you, they did the same thing against Netherlands. They were exposed. And Giddy especially, you know, he bowled a lot of extras, and not just him, they went more and more on the short side, and they got hit for 6s and 4s. And that young Aryan Dutt, bang, 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 you know, he made 20 in like 10 balls or something. That's a little worry, I have to say. I do agree. I'm a little worried that, you know, when the pressure's on, and they are required to just do the basics correctly, that seems to, you know, the head is not where the body is.
Yeah.
You know, and pressure does a lot of funny things to people, a lot of different things. And I've seen it again, a little bit of that again today. So you've got to be a little wary of that. And they're Omarzai's not a tail ender, but little Noor Ahmed, you know.
Okay. All right. With that, we have to wrap this edition of WION World of Cricket. You can catch Dav again in just a couple of minutes from now. That's it from me, Esha. Bye-bye. I'll see you again. Bye.